Hi guys, my name is Katie and I'm welcoming you back to week 2 of art and dance. Last week we had a really good session. We looked at lots of different artists and how they use movement in dance, and we ended up looking at Keith Haring, and this week we're going to carry on looking at him and some new pictures that I found and how we can try making dances out of those shapes and movements of his artwork. So let's get started. We're going to do a warm-up first of all. So come back into the space with me. And we are going to start with our stop-go game. So when I say go, you've got to jog on the spot as fast as possible. Really get those arms pumping. Really get moving. If I say stop, you've got to stop. Good. If I say sit down, you have to sit down. If I say stand up, you have to stand up. Good. If I say fidget, you have to fidget for 8 counts. See how many different body parts you can touch. Can you touch your back? Can you touch the back of your head? All over. Good. If I say freeze, you have to freeze in a really interesting position. Okay, any level, high, middle, or low level. Good. So, go, stop, sit, stand, freeze, fidget. Here we go. Ready, go. Stop, sit, stand, fidget, freeze, sit, stand, sit, fidget, freeze, sit, go, stop, stop, go, stand, freeze, sit, and stay there. Well done. Good. Standing up. So this time we've had go, stop, sit, stand, freeze, fidget. We're now going to do the opposite to what I say. So if I say stop, you've got to go. If I say go, you've got to stop. If I say sit down, you've got to stand up. If I say stand up, you have to sit down. Exactly. If I say fidget, you have to freeze. If I say freeze, you have to fidget. Right, here we go. So opposites. Ready, steady, go, go, stop, stand up, sit down, freeze, fidget, sit down, stop, go, stand up, sit down, fidget, and freeze, and stand up, and sit down. Good, and pause. Okay, so we're not playing opposites anymore. So a really good thing in dance is to look at our different speeds of how we move. And this can be really interesting when we put different speeds with our movement. So we are going to play the speed game where we have 5 different speeds. So number 1 is super slow motion. So you have to think about every single part of your body, including your face, your fingers, your toes. How slowly can you move? Good. Number 2 is slightly faster, but pretty slow. You can do any movement you like. We're just moving around this space. Number 3 is a kind of normalish kind of speed. Number 4 is now a little bit quicker. So we are building up this pace And number 5, you want to go as fast as you can, all around the space, anything you like. Okay, so number 1, very, very slow, all the way up to number 5, very, very fast. Okay, I'm going to mix up the speeds. So here we go, ready? Let's start with the number 2, so quite slow. Good. Number 3. Number 4. Number 1. Even slower. This is the hardest one, I think. Okay, we're going to go straight up to number 5. Fast as you can. Anything you can do, even if you're in a small space. Good. Number 3, sort of normal speed. Good. Number 2. Well done. Number 4, quite fast, but not too fast. And straight down to number 1. Good. Well done. Coming to a complete stop. Well done. Okay, give your arms a shake. Give your legs a shake, one at a time. It's hard to shake both at the same time. Good. Standing in the space. Can you stand in parallel? Which means your feet are hip width apart. It means they do not move closer or further away from each other. So they're like on train tracks. So wherever we move, our feet don't move further apart or closer together. So in parallel, we're going to do a roll down. So our head, which is really heavy, is going to lead us all the way, and we're going to just roll down through our spine, all the bones down our body, down our back, to warm up our backs. So we're going to go for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the knees and roll up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Head being the last thing to come up. Good. So that's number 1. We do a roll down for 8. When I say number 2, we're going to do a ski swing. So our arms are going to be up in the air. If you can, stretch your fingers, but I've got a low roof, so I'm going to keep my hands like this. And you're going to bring the hands round, and you're going to drop down, and you're going to bounce back up and up. So we go round, bend the knees down, relax the head, bend the knees, stretch the arms, and up. So we're going to do 2 of those. If I say number 3, we are going to do reaches on different levels. So we're going to reach high, high, middle, middle, low, low, really low. See if you can touch the floor, really low. Okay, so that's number 3. And number 4, we are going to do a fidget, because I like fidgeting. So 8 counts on number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. Ready? So I'm going to mix all the numbers up now. So we're going to start with the number 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Number 2. 1. Oops. Number 2 ski swings. We go round and down and round and up and round and down and round and up. Number 3 was reaches and reach and reach and reach and reach and reach, reach and reach. Good. Number 4, fidgeting. Good. Okay, we're going to go straight to number 2, ski swings. Keep stretching the arms again. Stretch the arms. Good. And number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 into number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well done. And breathe. Very good. Okay, I want to show you some new pictures that I found. So let's have a look. Now, on here, we have some pictures that we looked at last week. So we'll have a quick flick through these. So this was Leonardo Da Vinci. And he was about 500 years ago. And you remember we talked about how he loved to draw the body, how he was really interested in the detail. And the detail also included things like muscles and bones, how the body moved, and how the sort of structure of the skeleton and the muscles helped move the body around, which is exactly what we do in dance. Then some artists decided to draw more sort of beautiful pictures of ballet especially, and they really captured the spirit and the beauty, and they saw the sort of magicalness of ballet on stage and how everything was perfect. And then sometimes artists drew the sort of reality behind ballet and behind dance, and this was Degas, and he was a French artist, and he drew the sort of reality of the energy and the effort put into these dance sessions and sort of behind the scenes as well. So it wasn't just on stage and the perfect performance, it was about the effort that went in before they went on stage. So you can see sometimes the dancers' backs are to us who are looking in on the picture instead of seeing their faces. So we then went on to Keith Haring, who was our 1980s artist, and he was in New York at this time, and he went down to the subways, which was like our sort of underground, our tubes, and he went down and he saw these big spaces that were black, and so he got some chalk and he drew some really bold shapes that just showed things that he cared about, really. He cared about things, the political things, or friendship, or love, or just fun things, symbols. He used very bold lines and bright colours. He wanted people to go to work and see these really fun sort of images. This was the poster for the Montreal Jazz Festival in 1983, and this was brilliant because it's a really sort of crazy, bendy one. There's lots of movement in this one, isn't there? He's sort of running, I think. Do you think that's how jazz music sounds, maybe? I love this one as well because it's like they're falling. The people are sort of tumbling down from something, maybe from way up high to down below. And this one was a crazy one. It's like someone going through something else. And the thing is with all these pictures is it's down to interpretation, which means you can look at these pictures and you might have different thoughts to what it means to somebody else. And that's absolutely fine. It's a bit like dance as well. When you watch one dance, you might think it's different than someone else. So these are the new ones I found. This is a great one. This reminds me of dance because it's like a sort of man or a person sort of bending over and falling over someone else. And I don't know I can't work out if they're falling or if they're playing, or if they're just having a really sort of fun time, or maybe he's a bit angry because he's sort of got a cross on his face or on their face. So I don't know. What do you think? This one's great. This is like a heart with legs and arms. It looks like it's in a hurry. So what do you think that's showing? Do you think love is running away? You've got to catch it before it goes? Or do you think love is lots of energy? You have a think about what that means. I think it's a really funny one. And I love these doggies. They're so brilliant. They're just really simple, really clear, bright colours. I love the fact that they've got these lines here, and that means you can almost hear them barking. It's quite an energetic picture, isn't it? So that's a great one. So what I've done is I've made a dance phrase, and I'm going to show it to you now, and I want you to try and look at these pictures one more time and see if you can see any of the shapes of these Keith Haring pictures in my dance phrase that we're all going to learn together. So here we go. If you need to, you can rewind this film back, have a look, and then you can get the pictures in your heads a bit more, and then you can look at the dance phrase. Okay, but for now, let's go back into the space, and I'm going to teach you the phrase. So what we're going to do is, on our leg, it doesn't matter which one, we're going to lunge forward, and we're going to bring our arms behind us, and we're going to bring our head forward. So we're going to do a big lunge, and then we're going to bring our arms back like we're wrapping them around ourselves, giving ourselves a hug. And I'm going to change legs to the other leg, bring the head down and lunge back. Good. From here, we're going to bring our hands forward. We're going to open them and we're going to snap. Okay, from here, we're going to, from the bottom, we're going to bring our arms around and draw that kind of shape. What does that remind you of? Good, draw that kind of shape, and then we're going to go do a little run like that. So we get that shape and 2 runs, run, run. From here, we're going to crouch down. We're going to bring our arm up into a kind of nice arch, bring it down, and then you're going to push off this leg, use your weight onto your hand, bring the arm over, and you're going to jump all the way up. So we're going to go jump all the way up to standing. Okay, so we're going to start with 2 lunges. We go lunge and lunge and in. Hands. Good. Run, run. We go crouch. We go reach. We go down. We go jump all the way around to standing. Good. If you need to go through that a few times, you can wind me back. If not, we can try that with music. Here we go. I'm going to lunge. Let's try that again once more. Good. What did you see? I nearly added something else at the end then as well. Can I run through it with you? So, can you see the shapes that I made? So the lunges were just a sort of lunge warm up. And then I did the snapping dogs. Do you see I added that one in? Then I did a heart shape, but instead of drawing it that way, I actually went from the bottom and I drew it that way, and then I did the little runs because the heart's got arms on the picture. Good. I then went down to the floor and I did that bendy sort of person who was bending over the other one, but then I turned that into a jump and then went all the way around to standing. So if you want to, you can run through that a few more times. If you want to move on, you can. So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen. And what I've done is, looking at all the pictures that we've just looked at, so you might need to wind back the film, have another look. I want you to choose 3 shapes or 3 images from Keith Haring's work that you really like. So it can be anything you like. It can be a little shape, it could be a person, it could be the dog, it could be the heart, whatever you find interesting. And I want you to scribble it down on a piece of paper. They do not have to be brilliant. Look at mine. These are not brilliant drawings. They're very rough. This is how Keith Haring drew. He drew very quickly and very fast with very thick outlines. Yeah, but lots of character, lots of energy. So I really like the bendy man, I'm going to call him, the running heart, and the snappy dog. So those aren't the real names, but that's what I've called them in mine. So I like the bendy man, the running heart, and the snappy dog. So you can easily copy mine. That's absolutely fine if you want to take those ideas. If not, you can go off, have a look, have a little draw, pause this film, draw 3 shapes of your own, and then come back. Okay, once you have your 3 shapes, we are then going to make a small phrase. You're going to make a movement or show that shape in your dance. So I have, for the bendy man, we've actually done this one already, I'm going to do this shape. So it's like a really big, he's sort of got his leg out there, and he's got his lovely arch shape here. So we've got a bendy man shape. Good. I'm then going to draw the heart that we did before. Good, I'm going to add the run. And then I'm going to do our snappy dog jaws. I'm going to bring the arms up. And I want a little bit of noise as well. So we're going to have a snap, like the 3 lines that came out of the picture. we're going to have that snap. So we are going to have, I'm going to have for my dance, bendy man, 1, draw the heart, run, run, and snappy dog, like that. Good. So pause this. Can you try your 3 shapes now? Have a little think, or like I said, you can copy mine. Now I think it's fun to add some music to this, so let's try adding music to those shapes just to see them come alive a little bit more. So let's go. So we can go bendy man, shape 1, heart, and snappy dog. Good, once more. How did you get on with yours? Again, copy mine, or you can do yours, whichever ones you've come up with. I really wish I could see them. I bet they're absolutely brilliant. Now, something we're going to add to our shapes to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit sort of fuller is we're going to add transitions. So transitions are a roll, a jump, a turn, a slide, a hop, anything to link shapes to each other. Shapes or movement to each other. So it's like a little filler in between the movements or shapes that we've done. And again, this is the brilliant thing, you can choose whatever you like. So I'll show you what I've done, and then you can copy mine, or if you want to, you can take your shapes and then you can add your own transition between each movement or shape. So I'll show you what I've done first. So I've got my bendy man. I'm going to start over here a little bit more. I'll do a big stretch. I'm then going to add a roll to the side. I'm going to roll back again, standing, ready for my heart. So I draw my big heart, run, run. And my next transition is going to be a low turn. So I'm going to do a low turn, and then fast, snappy dog. Okay, so I've just got 2 transitions, that's all. So I'm going to go reach, roll, roll back, draw my heart, run, run, low turn, snappy dog. Okay, think about speeds as well. Like we did at the beginning, you can add your speeds in here. So my bendy man is quite a slow reaching stretch. I want my rolls to be quite fast. Stand up quickly and have a big stretching heart. Fast runs, and then I want a big, fast, snappy dog at the end as well. Good, so go away with your shapes, your transitions, add them in all together and come up with your dance phrase. Again, you don't have to, you can just copy mine, okay? And then we can share it all together. We'll try and do all our dances together, but we'll do it with some music as well, okay? So let's try that with music. Here we go. Once more. How did you get on? Okay, I bet that looked absolutely brilliant. So there's no rush. What we can do is you can keep going back, keep practicing, use the music, keep winding the film back, and we can go from there. Now what you can do is keep adding on. So we just started with the 3 shapes. So these were my 3 shapes, but you can keep adding on. And the fun thing is, because Keith Haring's work is quite fun to draw, you can keep adding these pictures on. So you could have 5 different shapes that you could make into movements, and then you could add in more transitions. So your dance phrase gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So from now this week, we're going to leave this. Okay, I bet you've done some absolutely fantastic work. Keep having a look. What you could do is record yourselves and have a look and see. You could always analyse your work. So you could think, oh, I could do a little bit of a bigger stretch, or maybe that movement could be a little bit slower or a little bit faster to make it look more interesting. Okay, so we want to really mix up the movement the whole time, the speeds, the levels, all of it to make it look a really interesting dance. Well done, you've done a brilliant, brilliant session today. So can everybody go back into your space, back into whatever space you're in, and can we curl up in a really small ball, the smallest ball you can. Okay, and I want you to imagine that we are blowing up like a big balloon, and we're stretching, 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 but we have to inhale. So every breath we take in, we're going to get bigger. So we're going to go. Someone's going to come along and they're going to pop us with a pin, and we're going to deflate. Good, all the way down. And again, inhale. And pop. Good, and last time. And someone's going to come with a pin, pop. Good. Well done. Can you kneel up on your knees and bring your hands together and stretch up really high as you can. We're just going to bend to the side. Good, and we're going to bend to the other side. So we feel a nice stretch down the side. Well done. Can you bring your arms around? Just give yourself a hug. If you put your head down, we'll just stretch the back of your neck as well. Bring it up and open your arms, and then swap over again. Bring your head down, keep breathing, in and out. Good, okay, can you put your hands on the floor and push back and just rock on your heels. Put the weight on your hands, put the weight on your heels. The weight on your hands and on your toes. Can you put your heels down, and can you push up? Stretch the back of your legs because they've been working really hard. And just like the beginning, head down. We're going to roll, roll, roll all the way up till we come up to the very, very top. Good. Give yourselves a clap. That was brilliant. Thank you so much for dancing with me today. What we're going to do is carry this on next week as well. We might look at Keith Haring. I think we might be looking at some other artists as well who've been influencing dance and movement, and we'll have a go at drawing and dancing and mix it all up and have a brilliant session. Thank you so much.